everyone, and welcome back to my Know by Year. In today's video, we're going to be talking about this shirt and how this might be the last time that I'm ever going to wear it. So this is kind of a story time video. We went to the zoo recently and I wore the outfit that I'm wearing in this video for the most part. I might have had a different undershirt, but the bones of the outfit are the same. It was this top, which is a linen top from Reformation, which has this kind of princess shape. You know, it's nipped in, it's got buttons, it's got puff sleeves, elastic at the base of the sleeves, a deep V, and I paired it with these kind of athletic fleece-lined leggings. It was kind of a weird weather day. It was supposed to be really cold in the morning and then get hot, and it was just kind of what I had on hand. Obviously, I was bringing the whole family. I'm not going to go to the zoo by myself at this stage of my life. So I had on these leggings that have a flared hem, but they're also just a little too short for me. So they're, exposing the ankles here and not lying how I like them to lay on my shoes on the top of my foot when I'm standing up and walking. The leggings are definitely going to go because I can't handle that. I've worn them several times and it's just annoying to me every single time with how slightly too short they are. And it's also a little bit of an awkward item because they're fleece lined, so they're really warm, but they're not something I can wear under other clothes. And they're also very casual, so I can't wear them to work or anything like that. So they're very limited in use. So leggings without question are going to be passed on, decluttered. And in fact, I'm going to change my pants now so I don't continue to wear an item of clothing that I don't feel good about. All right, so now we're back with some athletic pants that perhaps make this outfit even less cohesive, but never fear, you can only really see the top half. But anyway, hopefully you're here for the story. I will be showing outfits later, so I might move over, to show those as I talk about them. But for now, we went to the zoo. We had the family. That's what I was wearing. This shirt, those pants, and I immediately, or not immediately, but I very quickly felt a little uncomfortable in what I was wearing. Now, to kind of preface this story time video, there is something kind of magical yet sad about going to the zoo. People have conflicting feelings about how or if they should exist. The animals are kept in very small conditions and it's probably not a very good life for them, but they are helping in efforts of conservation. Animals are born in captivity, and so the species won't go extinct, and further research is able to be done on them while they do live in captivity. So there's mixed opinions on zoos. I'm not really here to talk about that. Obviously, I've chosen to support the existence of zoos by attending, but it's not supposed to be a commentary on that in a social kind of way. So something magical about zoos, something sad about zoos. You see animals doing their everyday business at the zoo. They have no privacy or sense of living in the wild. But also, like I said, there's a magical sense of wonder that these creatures even exist. We saw giraffes, rhinos, elephants, jellyfish, and you see these creatures and marvel at the different body structures that some of them have, the adaptations that they've gone through, giraffes with their long necks and rhinos with their leathery skin, and jellyfish with their iridescence underwater and how they move, and it's just fascinating. Anyway, so we're at the zoo. I start positively noticing other moms, other women, and a lot of them are dressed in kind of cool athleisure kind of outfits, leggings, crew neck sweatshirts, other kind of athletic wear, casual, fun, sneakers, etc. Now for more context, my outfit that day, the shirt and those leggings, was chosen by one of my kids to match her outfit. She had just gotten a pair of similar kind of flared leggings and had a top that was blue and white with little flowers on it. So, a cotton top, not linen. It wasn't an exact match, but this was a close approximation that she chose for me to wear. And so I don't feel bad about that at all, right? There's that underlying story behind my outfit that made me not feel bad about what I was wearing. And ultimately, it was worth being slightly uncomfortable to honor her choice that day, to get to have that fun moment with her. And I don't regret it. It was fun. It was nice. It was maybe not an outfit I would have put together, but it was her vision and it was fun to participate. The other thing is I objectively think that this shirt is a beautiful shirt. It's a lovely design. It seems to be well made. It's got a zip in the side so that the fit of it can be quite tailored. And sirens. And objectively, there's nothing wrong with it. I kind of fell in love with the design of it when I bought it. I bought it on a secondhand app, so it's not like I could have returned it even if I didn't like it, but I did like it at the time. I still do like it. I love this color scheme and the deep V. You know, the design aspects were consciously chosen by me at the time that I got this shirt. I will say that seeing what the other women were wearing did make me feel a little bit out of place by comparison. You know, there's a little bit of FOMO for not fitting into what the group had chosen to wear as far as being in the cool athleisure with the leggings and the sweatshirts and the sneakers. But I know, obviously, that I have leggings and sweatshirts and sneakers. I could have shown up that day wearing those things. I could show up next time wearing those things. It's not that I have to go run out and search for leggings and sneakers and hoodies or whatever, because I already own versions of those things. So that wasn't the issue, even if I did feel that impulse of not fitting into the tribe. Or if it was an issue, it was just a small part of the overall issue. As I was wearing this top, it became clear to me that there are downsides about it that caused me to not reach for it. And like I said, I didn't actually choose to wear this top that day. The last time I wore this was for filming a video about unboxings on this channel and how, you know, those are not reviews. I think that was the last time that I wore this top in my real life as well. And as I was wearing it, as I was using my stuff, you know, I've talked about that as well, how using your stuff will teach you whether you should keep it or maybe you need to pass it on. I was noticing all the things that made me slightly uncomfortable about it. And these things are, you know, like the deep V. I can't wear this without a shirt underneath, because if I move around in a certain way, you know, there is access to see what's underneath if I'm not wearing anything underneath. And the sleeves are kind of slightly too short for, you know, where they would fall to be long enough on my frame. And the overall style, you know, puff shoulders, puff sleeves, the print even to some degree is very, very feminine and structured. And those are not my style words at all, or my style vibe if we're not using words. But if we do refer to my words or concepts of my words that I tend to think are my style, relaxed is one of them, so the opposite of structured like this, and possibly androgynous. It's not one of my official 3 words if you go back to that, but I think relaxed, artistic, and cool. But either way, feminine is not one of them. And it's kind of the antithesis of one of my style vibes, which is a little more androgynous, even if it's not an official style word. So in some ways, this shirt itself is a detractor in my wardrobe that makes me want to shop when I wear it and experience the slight inconveniences about it. I stole that phrase from my friend Shauna Raipari. I'm going to highlight her here. I think she talked about it in her video about using your stuff and why it matters, where you can have detractors in your collection that then make you want to shop. And that's exactly what I experienced with this shirt. Although it's objectively beautiful, when I was wearing it, my experience of it was detracting. And I contrasted that mentally with another kind of outfit that's kind of a benchmark for me. And I might be putting some outfits on the screen here, because what I did, so maybe I'll go back to the story of what I did when I realized that this top was a detractor for me, or felt like it was not quite right. So I made a list of the pros and cons, which I have here on my phone. It's an objectively beautiful top. I love the shirt. I don't necessarily love me in this shirt. The pros are it's flattering, you know, it shows the shape in a nice way. It's structured. The color and pattern are beautiful to me. You know, I think objectively, but more importantly to me, I like this pattern and color scheme. I like the covered fabric buttons. I like that it's 100% linen, and I like the puff sleeves. I have a dress with puff sleeves that I still like as well. The cons, it's cropped, but it's not a clingy material, it's structured. So it feels kind of windy, or even more cropped than it actually is, because the breeze can just get in here. I have underneath a tube top that's also cropped, but it's a clingy material. So like it hugs the body a bit more, and it doesn't feel like the air gets in under there. It feels kind of more cozy than this linen top. Linen as well is not necessarily a cozy material. So yes, maybe part of it is just that I was wearing this top in early October, but the point is that this top is not as versatile as I initially thought it would be. Because of the sleeves, it's not necessarily great for the hottest heat days of summer, And because of the material, it's not necessarily great for the kind of cool but not cold earlier days of fall. And again, the print might be an objectively summery print, even if I'm less inclined to categorize things like that by season based on how they're colored or printed. Material, sure. I'm a little bit practical minded in my wardrobe as far as, if I like this print, I can wear it anytime. The linen as well makes it a little bit more of a formal top. So it again kind of limits the occasions where I feel like I fit in wearing it. At the zoo, I kind of felt overdressed, where most other people were in athleisure or casual looks. The print itself, although I like it and I think it's beautiful, is large scale. While I think large scale prints are better for me than small scale ones in most cases, I just don't know if it fits with the rest of my wardrobe. It's kind of an outlier, and I am just not sure if I feel at home in this kind of large floral print. The design and structure calls a lot of attention and emphasizes the shoulders, making a more balanced figure than I typically go for. So in some ways, it kind of evens out, my shoulders and my hips, and I actually don't necessarily do that in a way that emphasizes. I have blazers that emphasize the shoulders, but they also kind of are oversized. So it's not such an hourglass shape. And I'm just not used to seeing that on myself. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's just not a core part of my style and my wardrobe. So like the fact that it makes my shoulders more emphasized and, balanced with my lower half is just odd to me. And, I could evolve into liking that style more, or I could say I have occasions where I want to look like that, so maybe I should keep this top kicking around. But I think the practical detractors mean that it's maybe not worth keeping for me. The gaps in the top, the slight cropped and kind of breezy nature where the pants have to hit just right to be paired with it, how feminine it makes me feel. I do also think that the fact that it is so kind of attention worthy or thoughtfully designed, it kind of detracts from the other aspects of my outfit that also tend to have more design worthy elements. On that day, I was carrying one of my Polen purses. I think it was the Umi, and I think the top kind of clashed with the design elements of that rather than providing a more blank canvas for the bag to shine. And I'm sorry I didn't show you the bag in the modeling outfit photos. It's just downstairs, and I have limited filming time as it is. So, and then also I kind of tend to wear a lot of sneakers or more attention-grabbing shoes. I have the red flats, the yellow sneakers, blue shoes, and those things don't necessarily pair well with a top like this either. So it's fairly limited as to what I can wear it with. So what I've done in this video is I demonstrated the initial outfit that I had on with this top, and I also tried on like 4 more bottoms that I felt would be more ideal with this top. So I tried on some denim shorts, a cream mini skirt, and some pants, black linen pants and khaki dress pants. And then I also tried on those same outfits with my kind of benchmark outfit of a tube top and button down. In fact, let me show you that top combo now. So we're back with my kind of benchmark top option on, something that feels very, very me, a tube top and a button down cover up. And I chose a similar color scheme, right? So the light blue and white, so that we can kind of test my benchmark option compared to that top option with the same bottoms and see what the effects are. And again, I'm sorry I didn't go the whole hog and put shoes and accessories and different earrings or whatever with these outfits. It's really just to compare and contrast the tops. So hopefully this will inform both me and you if you're interested in seeing the process of comparison here. And what I hope to get out of filming and editing this video is a sense of peace or a sense of clarity, I guess you could say, in whether this shirt belongs in my wardrobe, whether I should hang on to it to see if my feelings change when summer rolls back around. But I actually didn't wear this top all summer besides filming that video, so I don't know if it needs another chance to, have another reckoning with it for another season, or if I should just try to pass it on. It's an item that would probably sell on a secondhand app, especially if priced accordingly, so it might just be a better idea to move it out of my wardrobe. And one of the interesting things about this is because it is a top that I was consciously searching for at the time that I bought it. I was looking for that pattern, I was looking for this specific design with the details. I have a resistance to just letting it go. My initial impulse is to say, okay, maybe that design didn't work for me, but I love so many aspects about it. I love the linen, I love the pattern, I love the general vibe, even if it's overly feminine when actually paired with my closet. My initial impulse is to look for another piece with that print, you know, to tell myself, what if I found a dress in that print? Then it would be a feminine outfit. It wouldn't be paired with things that kind of don't really have the vibe I want. What if I found a cami in that print, you know, a tank top? Maybe I could pair it with a button down like this and I could just have the floral peeking out. Or what if I found a full length top, not a cropped one? What if I found one with slightly less details? And I know Reformation does other pieces in that print. So again, the impulse is to go trawling the secondhand apps and seeing, are there other pieces with that print available? I actually owned another piece with that print in the past. I might even have a picture of a similar top, but different. It was still cropped. It was made in their viscose material, I think, not linen. So I thought the one I have now is superior, being linen over the viscose. And it was also slightly too big. So I kind of traded that top in for this one. And my temptation is to do that exact same process, right? Trade in this one for a new one, or a new to me one, even if I prioritize getting it secondhand. And I don't want to do that, right? Despite the fact that there are rules like the one in and one out rule that kind of make that feel okay or feel like a sustainable, conscious way to consume, I don't legitimately need a long sleeve linen top or any other top, right? If I look at my closet, you know, my smart closet app here, and if I go to the statistics and see how many tops I have 54 tops. And sure, 22 of those are tank tops and not necessarily totally comparable. You know, I have to pair these with another top to be able to wear them to work, for example. I do already have 13 blouses. And if I were to remove it, I would still have 12 blouses. Again, it's not a perfect categorizing system because for me, a button down I've categorized as a blouse as well. I don't think there's a button down category, but for me, the function of a button down is the same as the function of that linen top. So it makes sense for me functionally. Shirts like my button down Doen are kind of a cross between that floral top and a button down because it's floral, it doesn't have a collar, it does have buttons, and it does have kind of a looser shape. It's not so structured. And when I look at my other blouses or shirts in this category, the blue floral one is actually the only one that has that kind of tailored shape. So actually it is quite an outlier in my current wardrobe. It's not to say that I don't have shirts with that shape, but something about that shape of clothing makes me feel more casual, if that makes sense. And I like to have the option of having a layer on top of my casual layer. So I have form-fitting t-shirts, form-fitting long sleeve shirts, but for some reason, if I have that shape in combination with a more structured garment, right? My t-shirts and long sleeves are just plain crew necks with a kind of clingy material. They're not structured to be like that. For whatever reason, the structured and form-fitting garment doesn't really have a place in my style. And I didn't really know that until I tried this shirt, and even just now looking at my wardrobe, realizing that that is the only item, the only structured yet form-fitting garment that I own. So that's kind of a wild realization to come to from this story time about wearing this top to the zoo. And I guess the good news is that my wardrobe isn't a mix of these kinds of garments, right? I'm not confused about my style. It's just this one outlier that I have because I objectively think it's such a beautiful piece and I'm reluctant to let go of because of that beauty and because of the memories of how much I wanted it when I got it. You know, the reasons I have for keeping it are not related to actually using it. And after coming to the point that I've gotten to on my no-buy journey, my conscious consumerism path of progress, I now realize that I don't need to have something that I'm not going to use, right? In fact, that's kind of antithetical to the actual value of an item. If I'm not actually going to be able to use it for the intended purpose, which is wearing, you know, in the case of a shirt, it's not supposed to just live in my closet and be something pretty to look at whenever I'm in there. It's supposed to be worn. And somebody else whose style actually matches this type of garment could actually get a lot of use out of it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this shirt that would make it less attractive to somebody who actually matches the vibe that it brings, you know, whose qualities of style this shirt would actually enhance rather than detract from. So let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know if you've identified any wardrobe outliers or detractors in your life, in your collection of stuff, even if it's not in the category of the wardrobe. You know, are there detractors in your makeup drawer or kitchen cabinets or any other areas of your life that can tempt you into going down shopping pathways, you know, like I was going down with this top in the print and trying to find a better suited cut of it, for example, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to follow one in, one out. I'm just going to follow one out, and I don't need to bring one in right now. Inevitably, there will be something in the future that catches my fancy, and maybe I need that one to be in reserve for a time like that. Maybe I just need to decrease the amount of clothing I have, full stop, and maybe I need to work on just taking one thing out without bringing one thing in, even in the future. You know, there are many possibilities for still being a conscious consumer and not bringing one thing in for one thing out, or, you know, decluttering one thing when I bring one thing in. I don't think it should be an obligatory rule necessarily either, that if you bring something in, you have to let go of something, because there might be circumstances where it makes sense to have that thing without letting go of another thing. Anyway, that might be a topic for another day. I think I've rambled long enough about this zoo date and what I experienced in the clothes I was wearing. And hopefully I've been able to show you some of the side-by-sides, the comparisons, and, you know, whether you agree or not, it doesn't really change my opinions of my experience of this shirt. That was another thing that might be interesting, is that in the video that I wore it, and, you know, in my wardrobe try-on too, there were a couple of comments about how beautiful the blue and white top is and how I might look good in it. It might flatter me. I agree with all of that stuff, right? I don't think I even look objectively bad in that shirt. It's not really an issue of that. It's just an issue of how harmonious it is with me, my style, the rest of my clothes and accessories, the things that I like better, to be honest, the ways that I would like to show up in the world and in my style that don't really mesh with that shirt and make that shirt a detractor in the grand scheme of my closet. All right, with that, I will say bye for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.